a question that I ask the ambitious CEOs that I connect with and work with is, what is, sometimes I see it's consistent need of validation. I mean, to the extreme where they're going from one coach to another consultant, where they're going from one teacher to another, they're buying a digital product. And it's something about them that when you really sit down and you kind of say, like, what is this rooted in? Are you actually trying to grow? Do you know the problem you're actually trying to fix? Are you actually feeling stuck in a specific area? The answer is really no. They're actually looking to hear what they already know. God has already given it to them. They've already had confirmation. They have already been showing up and operating in their gifts, skills, and talents. But there's something about them needing validation. It's something about them needing to hear the outside voice to validate who they already know that they are on the inside. And most of that is self-worth and self-trust. If you have to identify and address those issues that you may have brought into your business, because where you started, what started the business, you may have started in survival mode. I mean, I started in survival mode. I needed to figure out how I was going to continue to be able to produce and make money for myself, for my child, and for my family. But when you begin to notice that that's not going to help you scale in or grow your company, you're going to have to take a step back and heal those wounds and those traumas and identify, hey, I don't have to live like this anymore. I don't have to make decisions from this place anymore. And it served its purpose, but you have options. This is not the only way. And so we have to address that. We have to free the CEO from that. We have to allow them to step into their power and to begin to produce from a different place. And sometimes it feels foreign and it takes time to get used to. The season that I'm in is how God has given me a spirit of peace that surpasses all understanding. But how do I sit in a place of discomfort? Because honestly, peace and discomfort is a place of growth. So how do I sit there and produce from that place? And that is kind of where we walk you through with the process and helping the ambitious CEO identify when they're operating from that place. No one is you. I mean, you are one of a kind, right? So this is something that, the ambitious CEO that I support, and they are actually at a place where they're getting ready to hire, where they're getting ready to outsource and or contract. It's actually, they're getting ready to, in that, it's like a transitional space. I notice this happens when they're in transition. And what begins to happen in that place of transition is they become very reactive. So, it may look like they're hired someone that's not performing at their desire. And so then they are reactive versus taking the time out to sit down and see what are the missing pieces or the miscommunication and or giving them training space. So they just fire them because they're not doing or performing at their level of experience or desire, or even they're not able to do the things in the way that they do it, and it's like, that's okay. Nobody is you, right? You're one of a kind, you're great. It's your company. You've been doing this for years. The person that that's coming into the company to support you, or that you are delegating a job or task to, they have to have space to grow and learn, because they're not going to always be as efficient as you may desire. We also see where this the ambitious CEO is looking for support and help personally, and they may decided to go into personal development, or they may have decided that they are going to hire a coach or consultant. And so there's one level of being analytical, gathering the information, building like knowing trust, and so making sure that the person that's offering making an offer, that they can deliver on their offer. But then there's another place where perfectionism may be showing up in your business as a ambitious CEO. If you really take a look at your sales, most of the time you may feel that you are not in a place to pivot and or shift, or you may actually know it's time for you to pivot and or shift, but the fear of showing up in a different space can be a mind block and or keep you from moving forward. I know that that's something that I had to work through. I had to make a decision that I prefer to be in alignment and to be obedient to what I feel that I'm called to do and who I'm called to serve, over how I think someone feels and or looks at me. because at the end of the day, perfectionism or being perfect does not exist. However, if you shift that thought into a place of being excellent, of showing up at your greatest self, and to make sure that you are putting forth the work, that your heart is right? Most of the time, if you are in this industry and you are a business owner, your heart should be what leads, but actually is something also that should be protected. Emotions and feelings is not